Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Field Trippin' here from the Franklin Park Conservatory in Columbus, Ohio. Now this is one of my favorite places in the entire world. I'm so excited to be here with you today. So the conservatory is built in 1895 and consists of many different habitats from around the world. So let's go in and check it out. Here we go. Even the birds are singing our praises as we're going in. All right.
Who else was? Nathan.
Hello, Ecot events team.
Hello, how's it going?
Here's Sean.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and
Here we are, smile and wave. Here we go. So now one cool thing about, now you know from our trip to DC that, of course, I love history. And one of the coolest things I think about the grounds of the Franklin Park Conservatory is behind the building in 1885, during a reunion of the Grand Army of the Republic, which was veterans of the Civil War, of the Union side. William Tecumseh Sherman was the keynote speaker at an event, and he gave his famous "War is Hell" speech right on the grounds behind us. Pretty cool. So we're going to be heading down into the Palm House in just a little bit down there. But our first stop are actually going to be the Himalayas. Right through these doors. Let's come on in. Hello. So before we go in, let's take a look outside. So you can see there's a giant 20-foot mosaic of pansies immersed within the north courtyard and the 10,000 bulb tulip display out there. So not all of them have blooms yet, but you can see some of them have and how beautiful it's going to be here in just about another week. It's going to be absolutely amazing. All right, friends, welcome to the Himalayas. Come on in. So the Himalayan mountain range spans 1,500 miles across the Asian continent. Of course, here above India and Nepal, right? And so they are also the home to Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the entire world. So the temperature in here, it's pretty cool, don't you think, Tate? Pretty nice and cool in here. This represents the temperature climate of the middle elevations of the Himalayas, which is about 6,000 to 9,000 feet. And so as you can see on the sign here, the primary characteristics of the Himalayas are rocky soils, cold drying winds, and strong solar radiation because they're way closer to the top of that atmosphere, right? So some of the cool things about the plants in here, some of the plant adaptations have, they've adapted to survive in this environment. You have the deodar cedar tree has modified leaves in the shape of needles that have thick wax coatings called cuticles that allow the plant to retain moisture because it's dry mountain air in the Himalayas. So it's pretty cool. Let's walk on in. So one of my favorite things about this exhibit is a few years ago, they had a very famous artist named Dale Chihuly, and he does glass sculptures. And they put them throughout the conservatory, and it looked so amazing they actually bought some to make a permanent part. You can actually see right up here what I'm talking about. And it just adds beauty to an already beautiful environment. And of course, we can see our little waterfall here poking through. And if we come through this cave, we can see more Dale Chihuly artwork up here. And we'll actually see Chihuly works throughout. It works really well in this room. So you can see there's another glass sculpture in the corner. And then probably my favorite one, he called this Persian temple. excuse me, Persian temple. And as you can see here, with this temple of Chihuly glass with the sun shining in and the waterfall behind you, well, I do believe, friends, this is about as peaceful as you can get. If we had a hammock, I would take a nap right now and be the happiest man alive. So let's keep moving through. Hi. How are you? Good. Are you enjoying it so far? Excellent. So here we have some jasmine, some hydrangeas down here. Beautiful. So I really love this Himalayan birch. Check it out. What do you think of this white bark? Lightly touch it. Feel how soft it is. What do you think? Isn't that cool? It's neat to see these like bright white trees, don't you think? It's pretty neat. So here in a couple of weeks, these are going to bloom into huge flowers about this big. Yeah, they're beautiful. You should come back. So these rhododendrons, you should come back and check it out when it blooms. Okay. Yeah, all right. All right, so we will be momentarily heading into a different habitat. Before we do, I'm going to stop talking just for a minute to let you get one final look around the Himalaya Dome. All right, here we go into the rainforest. Now, one of the most astounding facts I've heard, I love facts, is that the rainforest accounts for only 6% of the world's landmass, but 2/3 of all plants and animals live in the rainforest. That's amazing. So it's also very hot and humid in here, but we actually are going to talk to Anne from the Franklin Park Conservatory. She's going to tell us something cool about a special tree in here. Hi, Anne. Thank you. So what can you tell us about this tree here?
This is such a cool tree. The cacao tree is where our luscious chocolate comes from. And if you take a look up here at the pods, those green pods,
Oh, yeah.
that is where the chocolate seed is housed. So the conservatory always loves to have one on display, but we have to wait until they fall down. And then you can open it up and see the chocolate beans that are inside, and they're pretty good size. And you have to let them dry out, and then the manufacturing process would take over from there. They're ground, then you have the sugar and the butter that makes it so good. That's eventually added to it eventually. But,
That's really cool. Right from there.
Cacao. You're not
Yeah.
going to find one in Ohio.
Right.
Unless you go to the conservatory.
That's right. I like their leaves. They look like heart shapes too.
Oh, they do.
Just for chocolate, right?
Absolutely.
Because everybody loves chocolate.
Absolutely right. So people are always amazed when they see that.
Right. Very cool. Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us. We
Certainly.
appreciate that.
It's always a highlight
Yeah.
of the rainforest.
All right, well, let's continue on our walk through the rainforest.
Now down at the base there you see the macaws.
Oh, excellent. We will make a stop at the macaws.
Macaws are another highlight.
Okay, well, let's go see those macaws. Oh, they're waiting for us. I can hear. This is beautiful down here. Look at the size of these leaves. So I'm like 6'5", and my hand's pretty big. This dwarfs my hand, huge. Like up here, it looks like Swiss cheese. Check out these macaws. Hello. Hello. Rock and roll. They're supposed to do things, but apparently they don't care that I want them to do them right now, so. But they are absolutely beautiful birds. Okay. Well, as beautiful as it is in here, it's also extremely hot and humid. So we're gonna move on to our next location. But before we do, I love these orchids right here. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at all the colors in this one. All right, and now we are getting ready to go into one of my favorite habitats is the desert. Let's go on in. Okay, so here we are. We're actually going to talk to Franklin Park Conservatory worker Casey, or Katie. Katie, not Casey. Katie here. So, Katie, well, hello, and could you tell us a little bit about the desert?
Sure. Well, what people don't really know about the desert is that it doesn't have to be hot to be a desert. It only needs less than 10 inches of precipitation a year.
Okay.
So that means there are some cold deserts, and there are deserts on every single continent as well. So that's one thing that we don't know about deserts.
Right. Usually
another-
just think of them as being hot.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing about deserts are that because they are a lot of very harsh climates, a lot of the plants have to do specific things to help them survive. So as you can see for the plants back here, a lot of them have very thick leaves so that
Okay.
they can retain water. And then also a lot of them have these spikes on them and are also poisonous.
Oh.
So that prevents people, other plants or animals that try to get the water from them. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right, well, we're going to take a walk around and check out the desert environment here. Here we go. I love the desert blooms that can happen. So, and people don't realize this too, there are absolutely flowering plants in the desert, and it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, I was in the desert in Arizona about a year or two ago, and I thought it was the most beautiful place I've ever seen or been, and I wanted to live there. Now, of course, I was there in January, and then a local told me, yeah, you want to live here until it's June when it's 120 degrees, and then I said, yes, I no longer would like to live there. So this is so cool. I mean, look how thick the base of the tree is, but it doesn't grow very high, but that's to help retain all of that water that they so desperately need to survive in the desert. You can see the way the cactus is winding around that tree there. That's pretty cool. So now you heard Katie talk about, thorns and spikes, right? I mean, this is a tree. So it looked like any other tree that could be in Ohio, except look at these sharp thorns here. So don't grab onto this for leverage when you come down the stairs. And the cactuses attack at will. So yeah, look at these. Now, cactuses, look at the size of it. How would you like this house plant? Cacti. Yes. Cactus, the plural of cactus is cacti, not cactuses. Please forgive me, English teachers. But the cacti in the deserts are protected. We're in Arizona and you have those huge cacti. They hold so much water and they're so integral to the environment in the desert. They're protected by law. So if you try to knock one down or you damage a cactus in any way, you could be charged $10,000 and 6 months in prison. That's how important they are to the habitat and the environment of the desert. Hello.
Hi.
So I love this tree. It looks like an elephant foot to me. It's that wide base. So this is called a ponytail palm. You can see the long, looks like a ponytail here. Pretty cool. Okay, so we are going to make our way out of the desert, head down the hallway into the Palm House, which is actually the oldest part of the Franklin Park Conservatory. So here are actually some original paintings by Dale Chihuly, who made those glass sculptures that we've seen throughout the exhibits. And down here is a really cool hallway, some hands-on activities, and we have some of our students here do some things. What are you guys doing over here? Yeah? All right, let's see it. Let's see one go down. Nice. Nicely done, nicely done. That's fun. All right, farmer's market. So we're gonna head into the Palm House, but one last thing before we get, we've got a train village right here. I love it. There's Snoopy on the back of that train, it looks like. Very nice. All right, we're going to head into the Palm House. So here we go. Again, like we said, the oldest structure here at the Franklin Park Conservatory. And obviously it's daytime, so we can't see it, but at night, they light it up, all sorts of different colors, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. Let's go on in. Watch your head. Okay, we'll just come right around this way. Again, so the Palm House, it's not just a clever name. A bunch of palm trees and plants in here, right? So they actually, this is such a beautiful space. They rent it out for weddings, all sorts of occasions, and it's an absolutely beautiful place. Look at this. So if you ever, need to have shelter from the rain, or you're really hot and you need a giant fan, this is the plant for you, right here. And it smells sort of a mixture between fresh and musty a little bit in here as well. I love this tree. So this palm tree is a little bit furry. That's interesting. So again, very famous. You see these in, the tropics like Hawaii, the Polynesian environments, those huge palm leaves there, taller than I am. And there's another Dale Chihuly glass sculpture up there. So the last thing we'll look at in here is this giant furry palm tree up here. That is something to see. I hope they've named this the Bigfoot tree, because if it's not named that, it totally should be. Actually, it's called Old Man Palm. That's still a pretty cool name. Okay, so our next and final stop will be to the Polynesian room where the butterflies are. Let's go check those out.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Most common butterflies in Ohio, but I do like to show them off because they do have some cool facts I like to share.
All right. How's everybody doing today? Good, good. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the 1 o'clock release of butterflies at the Franklin Park Conservatory and Botanical Gardens. My name is Rose. I am the resident know about them today. Well, I'm going to try to use this time nice and low so everybody gets a good chance to see it. But this is the new blue guy. Sometimes I need you to fly off, sometimes it's good on. There we go. Now we'll be showing off his cousin from my ortho. This guy, along with the blue guy, are the biggest butterflies we got in this room. There that guy goes. Now the orthos are resident fruit eaters, and they can't take a bite out of an apple like you or I would. What they wind up doing is they wind up sitting on this banana mat that's not right here. They wait for the fruit in the wild to get a little bit juicy, a little bit past its expiration date, and they'll come down and they'll open up their proboscis. That's that rich and strong mouth. They go out on the front, and they'll suck up any fermented fruit juice they might encounter. You'll see these guys on the banana feeders through here. That's really a good place to see them on a day like this. We'll go ahead and move on to this guy next. This is a nice quick comparison. I know a lot of people have checklists of what butterflies they want to see in this room. This is always a popular one. This is the smallest butterfly we have in the room. This is the glasswing. Glasswings are native to the Amazon rainforest, where it's nice and dark, so they can't always be seen, and they have a way being seen. They don't want to be seen, being fooled to nature sometimes by being nice and clear. All the butterflies have clear wings. That's something a lot of people don't know. It's the scales on the top of their wings that give them their color. And these guys have clear scales as well. I need a grab for this one. He's always a little bit more hair red. Sure, everybody gets a nice good look at this guy. And since this glass thing is being so cooperative, I'm going to see if maybe I can get him down on some fruit. So that everybody can get a chance. Maybe not. And there's another ortho.
He wants to show off his wings.
A lot of you have already seen the orthos that chase each other that this butterfly is actually green. This butterfly doesn't have any green pigments in the scales like most butterflies do. The color comes from the way the scales are formed. So as a result, this guy's actually kind of color changing, kind of like an oil slick. If you hold it at a certain angle, he's going to look more blue than green. Make sure everybody gets a chance to get a good look. Alright, this guy's starting to look ready to go. Now, I've got one more butterfly to share with you guys today. And I am going to be asking you guys, and I always have a couple of experts in the audience, feel free to holler out if you know. Anybody tell me what this butterfly is? Monarch! Very, very good. Does anybody know what a monarch is? Yeah. Milkweed, very good. Monarchs eat milkweed as caterpillars, and just normal quail nectar during the day or during their adult lifespan. That's actually why the sky is so bright orange. Over here in this part of the world, the bright orange butterflies are the ones who are making your stomach hurt, and they don't taste very good. And nobody else likes tasty milkweed for these caterpillars. So this is kind of a warning signal. This is, I don't taste it, I'll give you a stomachache, please don't eat me. And it seems to work out pretty well, because there are a lot of orange butterflies in North America, not even the poisonous ones. Some butterflies that aren't poisonous at all will also be orange. I'm going to set this right here before I do my big release. Now, before I go ahead and release, I've got about, like I said, 60 butterflies to do. Does anybody have any questions? Anything cool you'd like to share today? No questions? I won't be sticking around if anybody does. Let's go ahead and show these guys off. This is like SeaWorld, you might get splashed by a butterfly. Is there one on you? Still one on the kitchen towel? Alright. I do have another bin right behind this one. If my friends can get a shot to see something cool. Go ahead and let these guys get on. This is my long wing bin. Got a lot of color here. I got it. Is there one still on the lid? I'm going to go ahead and take these stragglers out, see if I can get them in front.
Well, everybody, that is it for this episode of Field Trippin' from the Franklin Park Conservatory here in Columbus, Ohio. We hope you had a great time, and we will see you on our next adventure.